So what's going on, everyone? So we are in this video we are going to talk about the Fibonacci numbers. So these are the numbers that contain the sequence, and these can be used in many applications. In the olden times, these are used for cryptography, such as unlocking some patterns using this series. One example I have seen in some TV series is the Arrow season 5. So in that they find some mystery box, and it should be rotated in a series of Fibonacci generated sequence so that the box will unlock. So in that way you can also use the Fibonacci numbers in the cryptography. So I will explain the theory of the Fibonacci, then we will write a program to find the Fibonacci series pattern. So the first numbers you want to take is 0 and 1. So these are the standard or the base of this Fibonacci pattern. Okay, now what you're going to do is we are going to generate the sequence. That means we are going to generate third number. So this third number is based on the sum of previous two numbers. So these are the previous two numbers, and if you add them, 0 plus 1, that is 1. So our third number is 1. So these are the three numbers, right? So if you want to generate the fourth number, and that is the sum of previous two numbers, that is 1 plus 1, 2, and the next element is sum of previous two numbers, 1 plus 2, 3, and 3 plus 2, 5, and 5 plus 3, 8, and 13, and so on. So this is the Fibonacci pattern. This is very simple, right? So now let's go ahead and code this in our CBP. So let's say int a is equals to 0 comma b is equals to 1. Let's say c. Okay, these are the starting numbers, 0 and 1. Alright, now what we're going to do is we are going to ask the user for how to find n Fibonacci numbers. So user will give the input, let's say 10, and we should generate the 10 Fibonacci numbers. So let's go ahead and print something. So enter how many Fibonacci numbers to generate. So now we will store this in a variable, say n. Okay, I did not declare the variable n, so I can declare here. Okay, now n defines the number of Fibonacci numbers we want to generate. N can be 10, 15, or 20, etc. Alright, now the thing is there are some conditions for this n. So if a user has input the 0, that means he did not want anything. If user n value is 1, that means he want only the first number. If n value is 2, he want only the first two numbers, 0 and 1. So we will write those output in separate conditions. Let's say if n is equals to 1. Okay, so user had input that I want only one Fibonacci number. Then what we can do is we can simply output the number a. Okay, and else if n is equals to 2, that means the user only wants first two numbers, that is a and b. Now what we can do is we can simply output those two numbers. So now I am putting the comma to separate these values. Okay, now else if n greater than 2, that means if user has given the input like 3, 4, etc. up to anything n greater than 2, then what we are going to do is we need to iterate from 2 to this given n number, because already we have this loop only executes, this condition only executes when n is greater than 2. So that means we want to iterate from some 2 to this n value. Now let's say int I is equals to 2, let's say 3. Okay, 3 is the current number we need to generate, right? Now what we're going to do is we are going to say loop for I. We do not want, we can initialize here, or you can just simply delete here. So you can initialize any of this statement. For I is equals to 3, I less than or equal to n, I plus plus, now what we're going to do is we are going to generate the C value, right? So how you get the C value? C value is the sum of, that means the next number is sum of previous two values, that is A plus B, right? Okay, now 0 comma 1 comma 1. So first, in the first case, our this is A, that is 0, and B is 1 and C is 1. So in order to generate the next number, what you're going to do is you want to consider this one as A and this one as B, right? Because these two sum should be this one. So what you're going to do is we are going to change the A value to this one and B value to this one. So initially this is A, B. Now what we're going to do is we are going to make this value as A and this value as B. Now one way to do this, you can say A is equals to this one. This value is currently B, and the next one is this one becomes B, which is currently now C. Now B is equals to C. Okay, now I think we need to just print out the number. C out. Now let's say let's put the comma first and then we can put the C value. Okay, now let's go and execute, run this program. Okay, now let's say value 1. Now we get the answer 0. Now let's run the program again. Now let's say 2. We got the 0 1. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to say value 5. So we want to generate the 5 Fibonacci numbers. Okay, we missed 0, right? Okay, we need to print these values. So we need to print these values before this loop. So even though n greater than 2, we need to print starting two values, right? So I forgot that one. So now let's say 5. Now you can see the 5 values 0 1 1 and 2 and 3. So now let's put a breakpoint at this loop. Now let's run the program, and I want to show you this these instructions inside the loop. Now let's say 5. Now you can see this instruction is going to be executed, that is our for loop. Now 0 1 has been printed. Now let's step into, you can see A value is currently 0 and B value is 1 and C value has all C's and I value is 3, N value is 5, the input, the number which we have given as input. Now let's step into this. Now C is equal to A plus B, that is C is equal to 0 plus 1, that is 1, and A is equals to B because the previous number we are going to be stored in the A variable. Now let's step, and you can see A is equals to 1, and if you step again, B is equals to C. So that means these previous two numbers are being stored in the A and B. Now C value is 1. If you step into, now the condition is checked, and if you step into, you can see C value is 1 but I value changes to 4. Now let's step into again. Now the addition of this A and B has been occurred and C value gets changed. So in this way this loop repeats. So you can step over, step into again. Now you can see the previous two values are being stored in the A and B. Now 1 2 again, the addition of 1 2 becomes 3 and it will be stored in the C variable. So I can stop here. So this is how Fibonacci series work. I hope you have understood.